Hello, how you guys doing? Okay, we're here tonight for the table of men, and as you know, how we always do it. Okay, um, I guess I need to still adjust my lighting a bit, just make it all smooth and all fantastic. Yep. Okay, so how you guys doing? How was the week? Yeah, been a good week so far. Yeah, like we're having it good. So good. So far, so good. Happy to have you guys here. Um, it's all right. So tonight we're getting into something real good. We're getting into name it health habits, forming good health habits. I must say that tonight's episode is it's something I've been kind of looking forward to because, again, most men have very, very poor health seeking behaviors. We do not we do not take care of our health. We don't think highly of ourselves when it comes to health matters. We just, approach health like it's a like we have spare parts for it, and that can be quite a big deal. So overall, I feel like a lot of us need to do better when it comes to health matters. We disdain our health, we trivialize it, and we realize again that a lot of us are not living as long as we should be living, and that for me is quite concerning because if you are not living long enough, how do you expect to take care of those you love? How do you expect to spend enough time with those that you love when you're not living long enough? So if we look at it, I when I meet men and I'm telling them about ManityHQ, you know one of the things that comes to mind. I ask them, "Do you have a grandma?" If they say yes, then I ask them that, "Do you have a grandpa?" 9.5 times out of 10, or let me say 19 times out of 20, I always hear, "I don't have a grandpa," if they have a grandma. But if they answer and say, "Oh, no, I don't have a grandma," then I ask them, I don't even ask, "Do you have a grandpa?" Because I know that for the grandma not to be there, the grandpa has gone. Except in exceptional cases where maybe the grandma maybe died out of an accident or a you know a condition, maybe like cancer or something. But for the most part, if they don't have a grandma, I just ask them straight, when did your grandpa pass? Who died first? Grandma or grandpa? Because I know that they don't have. They likely do not have, likely will not have. So, who died first? Grandma or grandpa? And then they go, "Oh, my grandpa." I'll say, "That's it." So, all the evidence points to the fact that men have shorter lifespan. And I think that for ages, for generations before us, our men have been living not their best life. I would say they've been living their let's say acceptable or management kind of life. We need to do better with our health. Like, I know that many of us want to live long, many of us want to live well, many of us want to we want to grow old. We want to spend donkey years with our spouses. We want to see our grandchildren, great grandchildren perhaps. But the way that is going to happen is if we do well with our own health. And guess what? The responsibility for your health is not with anybody else, it's with you. You yourself. It's with you yourself. And that's why you have to do a lot. As always, here is my glass. I have cold water in here because tonight I'm just thirsty. So I have cold water in here, for the show. Yeah. So at the table of men, we always have a glass. This is my glass. It's cold water. You can see all the mist on the body of the cup. So wherever you are, you could share with your friends, your circle of influence. Let them know that we are live at the table of men. Yes, we are live at the table of men, and so we are doing it, a very big way tonight. Okay, so guys, let's get to it. What is the reason, or what is the underlying factor behind health neglect among men? Let me put it in a more contemporary way. What is the reason for poor health seeking behaviors among men? Why do men have poor health seeking behaviors? Like, we don't seek good health intentionally. Our attitude towards seeking good health, seeking, let's say, treatment, health treatment, taking good care of our health, we don't, we have a very bad attitude towards it. If we feel something, in fact, many of us feel like seeing a doctor is a weakness. I tell you that for free. Like, a lot of men feel like if they are going to see a doctor, then they have a problem. Like, they are not strong enough. Like, they are not resilient enough. Like, if they go and see a doctor, they are finished. Excuse me. No, where did you get that from? Seeing a doctor is a healthy act. Like, you are simply going to check your health. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you ever think taking your car to the mechanic is a problem on the part of your car? Like, your car has spoiled. If you take it to the mechanic, your car has finished. It will never be driven again. Or it has become so bad that it is not worthy of being driven again. No. You take your car to the mechanic because you observe that there's something that is perhaps not functioning the way it should. And so you want that thing corrected so that the car can function the way it should. That's the whole idea behind this. So when we talk about health seeking behaviors, what we're saying is we must do good with our health. We must treat our health with utmost respect. We have to, how do I put this? We have to take care of our health. We have to treat our health with value. Remember that you don't have a spare health. You don't have spare. If anything happens to this health of yours, my brother, is gone. Otilo, end of discussion. There is no spare life anywhere. And what we call life is actually health. So if you lose your health, that's the end. That's the end of you on this side of life. And guess what? All the money that you're chasing, all the goodies that you're after, the children that you're trying to have, the grandchildren you're anticipating, the wealth you are storing up, all the plans that you have, everything down the drains, so to speak, because you're not going to be able to pursue those things any longer. So we need you on this side of life. But the only way you can stay here long enough is by paying attention to your health. So, guys, um, what I want you to really, really, really pay attention to, first of all, is that please do not neglect your health. Your health needs attention. It needs your attention. It needs your attention. If you are above 30, please and please, I beg you, check your blood pressure from time to time. I am a bit guilty, but at least I still try to check my blood pressure like at least once in a quarter or something. Every time I get to see a sphygmomanometer, I just, stretch my arms out. Please check my blood pressure. I know what my blood pressure is, standard, right? So I know what it should be. A lot of men don't even know what their blood pressure, standard, like regular blood pressure should is. They don't know. And so how do you know when it is overly high? How do you know when it is out of range? Because you've not even been doing this, you don't even know what it is. I mean, fundamentally, your blood pressure, your BMI, that's basic basal metabolic index, which is You calculate your BMI. You should be able to do that by yourself. Your height in meters square divided by your weight in kilograms. So if your height is, let's say, let's say, okay, most people are not two. Let's say 1.8, right? 1.8 kg and 1.8 meters. So your height is 1.8 meters square. Just square it. That's 1.8 times 1.8 divided by your weight. If your weight is 70 kg, for example, divide that. Your height, what am I saying? Your weight in kg divided by your height in meters, then square. So if your weight is 70 kg and then your height is say 1.8, 5 meters. So that's 1.85 meters times 1.85 meters. And then, whatever you get, divide your weight in kilograms by that. You have your basal metabolic index. So your BMI, the range for your BMI, there are those ranges from 19, yeah, I think 19 to 19.5, thereabout to 21.5 shows that you are underweight. And then from 19.5 to 21, yeah, about 21.4, thereabout, is underweight. If your BMI is between 21.5 and 24.5, then you have normal weight. If your BMI is from 24.5 to I think 30, thereabouts, or 30.5, you are overweight. And then anything, what am I saying? Please, I think I'm making a mistake here. Oh, no, hold on. Let me check it. Because I cannot afford to give false information about this BMI. BMI ranges. Yes. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So if your BMI is less than 18.5, you are underweight. Ehen. Less than 18.5, you are underweight. If your BMI is between 18.5 and 24.9, you have healthy weight. And then if it is between 25 and 29.9, you are overweight. And if your BMI is from 30 and above, you have obesity. A lot of people think that obesity is when a person is, like Yokozuna. No, it's not that. Once your BMI, your body mass index, is already above 30, that's it. So you need to check your BMI from time to time, and that means that you need to check your weight. So I expect, for men, that on a monthly basis, like every month, you are at least checking your weight, checking your height, and checking your blood pressure. Those three things. I mean, if you're going to be seeking, um, you know, seeking good health, those three things are some of the things that you have to regularly do. Like, it should be a part of you on a regular basis. Check your weight, check your blood pressure, check your height, and then calculate your BMI. And for many of you who have fitness apps, I use Pacer, right? I also use Google Fit. So if you have any of these, you could also set your BMI into it. Introduce your weight, check your weight and punch it in. Check your height, punch it in. The app is going to be monitoring your BMI for you and letting you know, oh my guy, you are getting overweight. Oh, your weight is normal. So all of these things are things that we need to take into consideration. We need to pay attention to these things. Man, once you are above 30, about 35, man, your health is no longer something that you can afford to toy around with or just, no. Let me not talk about, I'm not going to go into nutrition deep down because we can spend the whole of this development talking about nutrition. Like, nutrition is a huge part of health seeking behaviors. Like, forming good health habits, nutrition is a fundamental part of it. Another one I want to talk about is sleep. I know that a lot of us do not sleep, and I was dealing with insomnia most of March because of work, anyways. But I have been sleeping since the beginning of April. Oh goodness, I've been sleeping. Like the sleep just comes, you know. I had like a 10 minutes power nap this evening around 5 p.m. thereabouts, and around 4:30, just a power nap, just dozed off for a little while, and then I open my eyes, and then I feel better. So you need to learn to normalize power naps. 10 minutes nap, 15 minutes naps, 20 minutes naps, like that. Just it comes, take it, take it, and zoom off, and then you wake up afterwards. You feel refreshed, you feel stronger, fired up, get back to work. But you need to normalize having good sleep. You need to normalize having good sleep. So, the major contributors of poor health taking behaviors among men, I think number one is the fact that we feel that being strong is not having any health issues. No. If you think that because you do not have to see a doctor, you are living you are living healthy, you're making a mistake. Now, I think that every man, at least, I mean, from age 40 upwards, as recommended by medical practitioners, from age 40 upwards, every man should get a health check, a comprehensive health check. Check your health, check your blood sugar level, your fatty acid level, um, you know, comprehensive health check. Check your check everything. Check everything, fasting blood sugar, everything. Do XYZ tests, HIV tests. Yes, it should be part of it. Check your HIV status. Um, you know, what do they call this thing? Test prostate cancer testing, screening. Just go in for a comprehensive health check. Spend that 300K. Spend it on yourself, on your body. You need it. You. It's not only about sending, hundreds of thousands of naira to the school for your children's school fees, and then you don't actually spend anything on your health. What is your health budget for yourself in a year as a man? What is your health budget? I know that many of us have, HMO, health insurance, fantastic, brilliant. If you do not have it, I beg you with God's name, with everything that you have got, organize one for yourself. Get yourself health insurance, because paying for health out of pocket is not easy to do. It's not an easy thing to sustain, I tell you, because you do not know when a health matter may arise. But I'll give an example. In 2018, or was it 2019? 2018, 2019, one evening, I got back. I just started feeling some discomfort in my tummy. I thought it was kind of running stomach. Just, this discomfort in my abdominal region. I didn't, make note of it. I didn't think much of it. And then by 4 p.m. thereabouts, I was back home. I couldn't sit up straight. I had to, just find a position to lie. I was feeling nausea, so I thought it was malaria. And so I went to get anti-malaria medicine, but because I couldn't eat, I was not able to eat for most of that day, so I didn't want to take it yet. So I sent a message to my wife that, hey, see, I'm not feeling well. How many of you guys, if you are not feeling well, and you know that this thing, the way it's going, is already getting serious, how many of you will send a message to your spouse telling them that, hey, I am not feeling well. I need you to come home right away. Because as men, we feel that we should be macho. We should be able to handle things. We should be in control of things. No, you don't have to be in control of things, especially where health is concerned. Especially where health is concerned. I sent her that message. Please come home. I need your attention now. I need you to take me to the hospital. And so within about an hour, she was home. She got back home. And then, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And then I was throwing up. I didn't even know what was going on. Oh, we thought it was malaria, but because I was feeling the pains in my abdominal region, I wasn't feeling fever. Yeah, I wasn't feeling fever, but I just felt like, this is rather unusual. Like, what exactly is going on? So we went to the hospital. And getting to the hospital, saw a doctor, and the doctor said, "You have a ruptured appendix." And I'm like, "Excuse me, what on earth? Ruptured appendix?" And she's like, "We need to take you in for surgery like immediately." I'm like, I don't get it. Like, from where to where? I was at home a few minutes ago. I'm here in the hospital for you to check me, and you're telling me I need to go in for a surgery. I don't get it. Unfortunately, the doctor who was going to carry out the surgery was not available, was not accessible that very night. I mean, we got to the hospital about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., thereabout. I mean, getting to the hospital was painful, man. And so we got into the hospital that night. We had it, and of course, she said, "Okay, what we'll just do is I'm going to give you an injection, to sustain you till tomorrow morning. By tomorrow morning, the surgery will be carried out." Like play, oh, like play. I ran under the knife following morning, maybe about 7 a.m. or so, or 8 a.m. 7:38. I'm not sure. I remember, everywhere was cold. Everywhere was cold. And then the doctor was talking to me, just kind of trying to gist with me. And then, of course, they had this IV, already passed in. And he was like asking me questions. Do you do you smoke? I said, me, no, I don't smoke. Do you drink? No, I don't drink. Do you womanize? I was laughing. Like, excuse me, doctor, what exactly does this have to do with what is going on in this place? Do you womanize? I said, I don't womanize. I said, you, doctor, do you womanize? The doctor was laughing. And so, as I did not realize that as the doctor was asking me those questions, they were pumping me with small doses of what's it called, anesthesia. They were pumping me with tiny doses of anesthesia, and then he was in the middle of that talk. Do you, doctor? Do you two smoke? Do you drink? Do you humanize? The next time I opened my eyes was when I was being wheeled back to my world, and I was like, "What happened?" But when I opened my eyes, it was like everywhere was spinning. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like everywhere was spinning, like spinning. I closed my eyes. It felt like I was in an abyss, just falling into an abyss. Like seeing the same shape repeatedly. Different colors of shapes. Just like I was just falling and sinking without end. I was even hoping that I would even get to the base of that abyss. I was just falling. It was crazy. And at the end of the day, I realized, hey, if I don't open my eyes, I'm going to keep falling and I cannot continue to fall inside this thing. It was just something, but what I'm saying is, imagine that I had just, trivialized it like, na small thing. It's just a little pain. I'll be okay by tomorrow morning. Now, guess what I heard? I heard that the ruptured appendix had actually stained my intestines, and they had to do a lot of cleaning up in there. It was gonna be like a 50-50 thing. I know why. Because when I was much younger, I remember my brother had to undergo a similar surgery, ruptured appendix as well, and it was narrow. I mean, he was a teenager at the time, so I'm not too sure if that had a bearing on why it was a bit of a bigger risk for him. But it was a 50-50 thing. It was a high risk surgery. Like, he could make it, he may not. He may not make it. He may have made it, he may not have made it. And so when I heard ruptured appendix, that was what came to mind. Like, this is me between life and death here. But if I had trivialized it, if I had toyed with it, chances that maybe I wouldn't even be here today, hosting the table of men, speaking to you guys, or even, championing the cause of ManityHQ, won't even be there. Maybe I wouldn't have had my son and my daughter. Like, A lot of possibilities that could have happened if I was not there. You know, oh goodness. Guys, we need to do a lot better with our health. I am glad that I did not trivialize that experience. I did not take that moment lightly, that experience lightly. I'm happy that I went to the hospital that night. I was attended to, and then the surgery took place the following morning, and I'm alive and well today. Often when I maybe I'm dressing up or I take off my shirt, or for some reason my hand just goes to my waist area, and then I feel the surgery site. I'm like, excuse me, I survived this one. I survived this one. Guys, we're gonna need to do a lot better. We're gonna need to do a lot and a lot better. A lot and a lot better. So please don't, if you feel something, please speak up. The hospital should not be too far for you. Shouldn't be, somewhere where you are bragging that you have not been to the hospital. I know that a lot of Christians do this one. I've not had any reason to be at the hospital for the past 1, 3, 5 years. I understand what is being said. How be it? You don't only go to the hospital to treat an illness. You also go to the hospital to prevent an illness. And that brings me to my next point here. Preventive care is the kind of good health habit that we should embrace as men. We need to normalize preventive care. And what does preventive care entail? Do the things that will not let you fall sick. Do the things that will not allow you to be in a position where your life is at risk. For example, don't overspeed. I got you there. Don't overspeed. Regulate your speed when you're driving. Have rules for your speedometer. If it's possible to set a limit on your speedometer so that you cannot even drive beyond it. I recently learned that there's a button beside the gear of most cars, a lower button. That button is there to prevent your car from moving into higher speeds. I recommend that you activate it. I activate it so that your car will not be able to, will be self-regulated from shifting into higher gears, especially if it's an automatic vehicle, right? Automatic transmission vehicle. It will not be able to transition into higher gears. Activate it and leave it active so that you don't get to overspeed. Oh goodness, regulate your speed. That will save you from needless accidents for the most part. A lot of men die in accidents. And a lot of people die in accidents caused by overspeeding. So please regulate your speed. The second thing, manage your emotions. Worrying, they kill person. If you worry, you will kill yourself. You will shorten your lifespan. You will hear Jesus saying things like, who, because they were worrying, who for worrying has been able to add 1 second to their lifespan or increase their hair length by 1 cubit. You can't. So you need to regulate your propensity to worry. I know that there are many things to be worried about. Oh, so many things are not yet done, so many things are not yet in place, so many things that you're expecting have not come. The promotion you expected has not come. You're waiting for a child, your pregnancy has not come. You are running after a particular deal, it has not yet come. There are many things that have not yet happened, expectations that you have, they're still pending. I know. But you need not worry because worrying will not improve your situation. It will not aid you. It will not add to you. In fact, it can cause you problems health wise. When you worry, you overstretch your heart function, and that can lead you to high blood pressure. That can lead you to several things that you don't want us to begin to go into. You can Google it. What are the health implications of worrying? If you Google it, you see what I'm talking about. Health implications. I'm going to Google it right here so that you can even see it. Health implications of worrying. There it goes. What are the health implications of worrying? You find so many of them. Okay, answer me. Yes, continuous worrying keeps your body in a persistent fight or flight state, flooding your system with hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that can eventually lead to serious physical and mental health issues. Chief among them is cardiovascular problems. Chronic warriors may face up to a 77% higher risk of heart disease and early death. Oga, cardiovascular problems, heart disease and early death because of worrying. Preventive care, this is where it begins from. See, if they say you don't have worries, you don't have anything that you're thinking about, this one, that one, don't have worry, don't have worry, leave it like that. Live long, stay healthy. Prolonged worry suppresses immune function and reduces white blood cells. So you become susceptible to things like common cold, shingles, even slowing down healing of wounds. Muscular and respiratory issues coming out from same issues of worrying. Digestive disorders, stress hormones disrupt brain gut communication, leading to issues like irritable bowel syndrome. You know, you're just irritated in your bowels. You know, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, all from worrying, just from worrying. Metabolic health issues, high cortisol levels increase blood sugar and triglycerides, raising the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and obesity just because of worrying. My brother, what is the advantage? What does it profit you to worry? What does it profit you? Zero. Absolutely nothing that will benefit from worrying. Let's not even go into the psychological and behavioral problems that come with worrying. Let's not get into that. Sleep disorders, mental health disorders, cognitive impairment, unhealthy coping habits, all manner of issues just from worrying. See, when I say worrying is one of the key areas that you should pay attention to when it comes to preventive care, know that I am saying I know what I'm talking about. So, guys, you should not worry. You have nothing to worry about. Don't worry. I know that there's a lot that you can choose to worry about, but you don't have to. You don't have to worry about anything. Please control it. If you need help, seek professional help. Seek, seek professional help. If you need to talk to somebody, please talk to somebody. Please talk to somebody about it. And when you talk to them, don't still carry it away from that place. Leave it on that table and walk away without it. Because many of the things we worry about don't actually happen. Like if you're worried that something may happen, it usually doesn't happen 90% of the time. So why are you worrying that you may not be able to pay your house rent? Even if you're not able to pay your house rent immediately, you will be able to pay it afterwards. I think that there are just a lot of those things that we need to pay attention to and find ways to cope with. Find ways to cope with. Yeah. So, you know, worrying, just leave it be. Leave it be. The other one I want to quickly talk about there is nutrition. Guys, eat well, eat healthy, eat good food, take healthy foods. Please stay away from junks. I'm not saying you shouldn't touch them at all, but keep away from junks. Snacks, flour based foods, you know, don't make it the usual. Noodles, not good for you guys. Not good for you. I know that a lot of guys, I just want to eat noodles and egg. They say the egg is good, but the noodles are not good. Guys, please be mindful of it. You know, so pay attention to your health. I mean, to nutrition, what you eat, the things that you are eating. Be very mindful of them. Like, don't just eat anything. Whatever is going to go into your system should be something that you know is certified fit for you. Sugar, artificial sugars, soft drinks, beverages, even beer. I understand that, yeah, maybe beer may contain what's it called, hops. Yeah, hops are good for the health, but then there's still a lot of other things that are not good in beer. I'm not saying you shouldn't drink beer, but when you make it like the order of the day, something that you are always taking, always, like every day you are at it. Come on, you need to watch it. Alcohol as well. I do not say do not take alcohol, but again, it should be regulated. What am I saying? Balanced diet. Balance things out. Regulate a lot of these things. But you should always endeavor to eat a colorful plate. Your meals should be colorful. It should not just be more of red. You should have red, green, orange, various colors all packed in so that you can have the best of things. Like, look out for purple cabbage. You know, purple cabbage. You have orange carrots. You have green vegetables, and so many others like that. There's so many things that you can load up into your diet that will help ensure that you are eating healthy. And please, I know that you may not have been practicing it before, but can you do well to be eating fresh tomatoes once in a while, as often as you can? Fresh onions as often as you can. Fresh onions are good for the eyes. Good for the eyes. They contain quinones and some other, stuff that are very good for your eyes. Good for your immune system as well. Take them. Eat it as often as you can. Eat salads. Eat fish. I mean fish from the water. Eat fish. Yes, eat cabbage. This young man is going to bring cabbage to show me. Yes, eat salad, eat fish, fresh fish, not cooked, like just steamed. Steam it and eat. Eat fish, eat salads, eat bean meals like moi moi, akara, high protein rich foods and what have you. But the whole goal is that you are eating healthy, and please drink a lot of water. Water is one of the classes of food and it is good for your health. Please, when you are thirsty, don't go and buy soft drink. Don't go and buy carbonated drinks. No, this is not the time to be drinking juice. What you call juice is not juice. It is concentrate that has been diluted. And those concentrates are not very good for you. So, what you deserve is fruit naturally produced juice. Like, you are squeezing oranges, or you are using a juicer to juice watermelons, pineapples, and what have you. Mango juice. Juice them from natural fruits, and then take that juice. That I prefer you should take. But the juice that has been packaged and they are selling for some exotic amounts, please, 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 please. It's not something that you should be happy about. Those juices are not going to make you happy. No, they are not exotic. They are not standard. They are not fine. They are not fantastic. They are not good for your health. Yeah, they are not. So when you are thirsty, what you should take is water. Water. You can see me here. Water. In addition, another thing that you should include in your diet is yogurt. Include yogurt. I was not really going to say much about health, right? About nutrition, but I can't escape it when we're talking about health here. So include yogurt in your diet. Like, I think that every week you should take yogurt maybe twice. At least I don't know what would be sufficient, but as often as you can take it. I know that yogurts are a bit expensive, but if you can make it, why not? Like, it's better that you make it at home, and you have it to eat for the longest time. So have yogurts. Yogurts are good for you. Healthy is, improves your digestion, strengthens your immune system. Has a lot of fantastic benefits that you can enjoy. So add yogurts to your diet. I've spoken a lot about diet, and I'm not too sure that there's anything else you want me to say about diet, that I've not said yet. But please pay attention to your diet. So I've spoken about worrying, I've spoken about your diet, nutrition, and then I think I've also spoken about sleep. So I mean, I think if you take those three things, like you should be good as a man, right? You should be good. Then finally, your health routines. Walk, walk, live active life. Live an active life. Don't live a sedentary lifestyle where you are sitting in AC, you sit from morning till night. I'm even looking forward to the development that I'm going to be standing like all through. Yeah, where I can stand for the most part of the session. I've been coming here sitting that most of the time. Yeah, I try to be as active as possible. You know, so make sure that you're counting your steps. Your steps are tracked in a day. So track your steps throughout the day. Ensure that you're doing, some 3,000 to 5,000 steps in a day just to stay active, right? So live an active life. Walk. If you can engage in workouts, please engage in workouts. But the minimum that I would even expect or recommend for you as a man is to be active. Walk, pace, walk. It's not everything that you must send your associates to go and do. Can you stand up and go and print it? Can you stand up and go and meet the person instead of sending a message on WhatsApp to somebody in another office? Please bring me this, or please bring that file, or please, print this particular thing. Can you get up from your seat, go there, and go and see the person and ask the person what you want to ask, and then walk back to your table. And before you walk back, take a walk, make your journey a bit longer. 2 minutes, you go around, and then you come back. In the going around, you will see people that you don't usually see. In the going around, people will see you. You become a lot more approachable. It improves your life overall, while also aiding your health. So my point here is, walk, be active, live an active life. It helps you in every way. You will be handsome if you're walking. I assure you, you'll be very handsome because people will see you will smile. Let me add that as number 5. Please smile. It helps you a great deal. Happiness is a fantastic emotion to nurture in yourself on a regular basis. It's part of preventing. Okay, healthy routine. Yes, make it part of your health. Smile all the time. Smile. You can see I have very good smiles, right? So smile, or as often as you can. Smile. So when you are embracing these health routines, you are forming good health habits. If you're doing all of these things, checking your blood pressure from time to time, maybe every 2 weeks, but at least every month. Check your height, check your weight, track your BMI. These are things you should be doing on a regular as a man. My questions now. 2 questions. My first question is, how do you care for your health? We've said a lot about that already, right? But just to recap, if you feel something, please say something. Normalize seeing a doctor. Normalize having conversations with the doctor. Have health checks as part of your health routines. Health checks, regular health checks, once a year you should do it. Once a year it should be part of your routine, in a year. Go for health checks, right? Routine, vitals, routine vital checks. Check your vitals, your blood pressure, your height, your temperature, those fundamentals. You can even walk into a hospital and tell them you want to check your vitals. They will check it for you. So check your vitals. These are standard things that you can do to care for your health. And again, I repeat it for the opting time. If you feel something, please say something. See a doctor. Make friends with doctors. They are good people to have around because the advice that they will give you, you may have to pay a consultant to get that advice. But if you have them as friends, they'll tell you what you would have paid for, and that will help you to make good decisions about your health. Finally, what habits do you need to improve on? That's a question to you. So check out yourself. What are the habits you need to improve on, and then make necessary changes to those habits. On this note, we call it a wrap tonight at the Table of Men. It's been such a fantastic one, I guess. Yeah, a good one, very good one. I enjoyed it. Health is one I always enjoy talking about at the Table of Men, and I'm happy that we've had this conversation tonight. At the next Table of Men, we're going to be talking about money. Yes, it is part of the areas that we need to talk about when we're talking about leadership as a man. So we have spoken about taking ownership of your life, taking responsibility, taking charge of your life. That was the first episode. Today we've discussed your health, taking charge of your health, forming good health habits, and then we're talking about money next week, next episode. That's one area we got to talk about too. If you're going to be leading yourself, you got to lead your money. You got to take charge of your money, right? Take charge of money. So money is the next thing we're talking about on the next episode when we gather here again to discuss at the table of men. Guys, until then, be good. Have a good week ahead and have a splendid weekend. Bye bye.